Cuckoo here with the fourth and final Hogwarts Common Room. Today we are doing Gryffindor, and once again I turn to the books for a description of this room, and the description in the first book just kills me. This is it. This is the whole thing. A cozy round room full of squashy armchairs. I'm sure we get more description throughout the books, and we live in this space a lot, but it just was so funny to me that one of the most iconic settings in the whole series is introduced as a round room full of armchairs. Which makes sense. Like, Harry is really, overwhelmed and tired. Like, he's been describing things all day, because this is the first time we saw Hogwarts, and the first time we saw the Great Hall, and, it's a lot. And so, if he, sat and described, everything about the Gryffindor Common Room, it'd be real weird. But it just was so funny to me, because I have such a vivid image in my head of what this Common Room looks like, and we don't get that much description, which I think is one of Rowling's talents, is she just gives us these little pieces, but then shows these characters who are very real, living in this space, and it makes the space real to us. Of course, this actually made this, the hardest one to do, because I do have this really clear image in my head, and translating that to The Sims was rough. I kind of had to give up on that image and just try to stay true to Gryffindor. This is the first common room where I remembered that coffee tables exist. And because of that, I wound up putting in 2, because I was just so excited. Hey, coffee tables, those are a thing. Because armchairs was literally the only description we got, and it's often said that Harry, Ron, and Hermione take their, 3 favorite chairs next to the fire, I just threw in a lot of armchairs. There is so much seating in this room, and part of that is I just see Gryffindor as the party house. Hufflepuffs definitely throw parties, there's no question, that's kind of our thing. But Gryffindors have a whole different vibe about it. They're a lot more sports parties, and they're a little more loud and raucous and crazy, and I love Gryffindor. They're so much fun. I will say that Gryffindor is the house I have the hardest time with, and that's not to say I don't love Gryffindors. I am the one who is a huge fan of Harry himself. I will always fight for what a great hero Harry is and what a great person he is and how much I love him. I also fight for Frodo in Lord of the Rings. Kind of the same thing. I think Gryffindor heroes are often overlooked by our society. It's oh yeah, whatever, you saved the world. But look at Sam! He carried Frodo. And yes, Sam is an amazing Hufflepuff hero. But Frodo is an amazing Gryffindor hero, and we need them both. The bravery and selflessness and a little bit of lack of common sense that Gryffindors have is something we absolutely need. It is essential. There's a reason most protagonists tend to be Gryffindors. However, I think of all the houses, Gryffindors have the hardest time seeing the value of everybody else, and that's not to say they don't appreciate their friendships with those houses and things like that. Frodo wouldn't have got anywhere without Sam, and he knows that. But Gryffindors think that Gryffindor is the best, and because of that, they think everyone should be in Gryffindor. Slytherins think that Slytherins are the best, right? They're snooty and elitist, and, Slytherin is the best house. But they think all the other houses are important, too. They see the value of Hufflepuffs and Ravenclaws. They just think they're not as cool, which I'm okay with. Gryffindors are a little bit Gryffindor is the best, so everyone should want to be a Gryffindor. Come be a Gryffindor. Stop being whatever you're being and be a Gryffindor. And I think that on, a conscious level, if they really think about it, they don't feel this way. But it's something they tend towards, and it annoys me. They think that there's only one way to do the right thing, and that way is to be a Gryffindor. But Gryffindors do get things done, and they are just so great. I'm so excited to reread Harry Potter. It's my reread this year, and I'm just so stoked. I love, Harry, Ron, and Hermione so much. I feel like I've missed them. It's been almost 3 years since I reread the series, because I read it on an alternating pattern with Lord of the Rings and Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, because otherwise I would just read those 3 books and nothing else ever. But I am so ready to dive back into Hogwarts and this adventure and these amazing characters that I love so dearly. And yeah, most of them are Gryffindors, and they're amazing, and I adore them. So this is my first time using the red shelf CC, which makes it really easy to do clutter and put things places, and it's so nice, but I realized I did it wrong. You can turn it invisible, which is really nice in your own game. It really simplifies things, just gets it out of the way. But I realized if you download this and you don't have the red shelf, it makes a total mess and does not work. So I figured out how to get rid of those. I should have done it before, but you can download this with absolutely no CC, and it totally works. I've got my origin ID in the underbar. You can also search the hashtag #CuckooCookery, and you will find it. And if you do use this build, please let me know. I would love to see how it's being used. It wasn't really designed to be used. Like, I made sure everything was usable. You can sit in all the chairs and stuff, but, like, I don't know what context you would use this in, but I had so much fun making it. I did so much clutter in the Gryffindor common room. I wanted to make it feel really lived in and kind of sentimental. You know, there's a lot of, like, trophies that I think are kind of old, but that they hang onto. All the portraits everywhere is just so Hogwarts, you know, and, you know, the ones with people in them are probably talking all the time, and I think that's fun. I put in a chess table as a, like, nod to Ron because of his amazing chess talents. I think Ron is brilliant. Like, everybody thinks Ron is so dumb. And I'm like, he literally beat McGonagall in a game of chess when he was 11. If you don't love Ron Weasley and think that he's amazing, I'm not sure that we can be friends. I have very strong feelings about Ron and just how selfless he is and how well he puts up with, like, the hardest thing in the world for him. Having a famous best friend is so hard for someone who has all these siblings and has been overlooked his whole life, and yet he puts up with it because he loves Harry. And Harry just appreciates Ron so much, and I love their bromance, and they're so great, and I can't wait to reread these books. I just am so excited about it. Harry Potter has been such a big part of my life, and I know that's true of so many people who are my age, that we are the Potter generation. We grew up with these stories, and they've affected us, and I love that. I love that what is your Hogwarts house is a real question to ask someone that tells you something about them and is important to us. I think it's just really cool and really magical, and something that, as an aspiring writer, I just can't even imagine. My favorite interview with J.K. Rowling, she quoted the line, "Every child in our world will know his name." And she just got this look on her face and she said, "I never could have dreamed that that would be true." Anyway, we're coming up on the screenshots. I have so much fun making this common room really warm and Gryffindor-y. Let me know what you thought, and let me know which of the 4 common rooms was your favorite. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next episode. Bye!